it stipulates right here, like you cannot sit, stand, sleep, lie, allow anything in the right of way within 500 feet of this park on the corner. But yet they stay right here for 90 days that they'll hold all our personal items that we can call them Monday through Saturday, 8 to 5. Now tell me why the main guy said he didn't give a fuck. Like, he didn't give a fuck what we were going through. And that's ridiculous. And as you can see, it's a big, wide area. It's not small. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, they're making
5
homelessness.
blocks.
They're making homelessness illegal.
And then it goes across the freeway, you know.
Right.
And I don't get that part.
But these enforcement zones are all throughout Los Angeles.
And there's a gang of more than 50 of them.
Right.
From the Valley all the way to East LA.
So you got no place to go.
No place to go.
But it's going to be illegal for you to be here.
On Monday, January 10th, they're taking us to jail. And that's sad. Like, I mean, don't have resources. Like, we search. My girl be on her phone, emailing the legislators and the Senate and all kinds of people. So
She emailed me.
bingo. And you came through, and we love that. We love that, because guess what? Nobody would hear us if it wasn't for you, and we love you for that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're grateful. We're so grateful.
Right. Well, this is the first time I've seen one of these signs. And they're making homelessness illegal, but yet not giving you services to help you get out of homelessness.
And that's just crazy. I don't understand. We're all supposed to be in this together. We're all humans, first of all. There is no black, white, Latin. We're all humans, period. Like, there's not one person richer than the next. Everybody is rich. And it doesn't mean this, money. Like, it's good spirit, bro. You gotta be good spirited. You know, to me, money is not everything in the world.
Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakol Bardash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David reborn again in this generation. And shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage were known as and still are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about how Esau is starting to afflict these homeless people because he needs to get them into the beast system. But before we get into that, let's read this. This is Isaiah 10:1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right of the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. And there you go, right? This man here, he's an Issacharite. He's a prey to Esau's system, right? And ultimately, this is judgment of the Lord on this man and all those people who are homeless, right? Now, a few years back, we used to actually teach in downtown LA. There on 7th Avenue and Broadway, right? And that place was just rife with homeless people, especially if you went down a few blocks to Skid Row. Man, it's a whole another world, Akim. Like, it is crazy, right? Like, you could go online right now and you could see some of the videos, and some of the brothers even actually went down there to preach the word, man. But the thing is, man, is these people, they have so many demons and spirits on them that this is more than likely just their judgment to be in this state until the second coming of the Messiah. Now, the Lord ultimately, he, when we were down there, he did bring homeless around to listen to the message, and some of them got it, but the majority of them were just so lost, and this truth just isn't for them, right? But that being said, these people are, about 2/3 of these homeless people are of the Israelite nation, right? Negro, Latino, and Native Americans, right? And they've fallen on hard times, all through the judgment of the Lord, but through the mechanisms of Esau. You see, they've either, become homeless because they couldn't thrive in this wicked system, right? The stress was too much for them. They got addicted to the drug system set up here in Babylon the Great, right? Now, and there's so many different reasons. But the point being is as I said in this video, man, this is the first time that they've seen these type of laws set up to where they're now persecuting these people for being homeless. Now, why is that? Well, you see, we are soon and very fastly approaching the MOTB lifestyle, right? Where you need to be documented, chipped, tracked, and surveyed to live in this society, right? You can no longer be off the grid, okay? If you're not in some sort of address, some sort of system, right, then you're going to find it very hard to live in Esau's world. Okay? This is the way they want it, right? But this is the path that all us, believers are going to have to go through. Now, the Lord has had mercy upon a lot of us, and he has placed a lot of us in situations right now where we can bear our captivity, a lot more than others, right? For example, when you compare these homeless people, I literally, by my work there in Eagle Rock, when you get off of the, there on I think it's Huntington, Colorado, I think, you could literally see they're building these little micro shed towns in old parking lots, man. And why is that? Well, because they need to house these homeless people, right? And if they don't house them in these little temporary little sheds where they can have an address and track them and, arrest them and do whatever they need to be able to do to them, basically get a hold of them, they're going to send them off to basically prison, right? And again, the type of laws that they've, set up for to basically get rid of these homeless people out of these areas, they're ruthless, right? You're gonna hold their items for 60 days, right? They have to basically impound them. Well, what are these people gonna do, right? This is Proverbs 22:16. He that oppresseth the poor and increaseth his riches, and he that giveth to the rich shall surely come to want, right? And that's exactly what these Edomites do in their societies, man, right? In that Reddit post, man, you have lots of people understanding that this is just the norm, and everybody hates it from the post, but from all when you go through the comments, right? Mentioning how the system has money to start wars, give tax breaks to corporations and rich people, but they never have enough money to provide the social services to our society, and that's because these devils don't want to, right? These devils, what does it tell you, man? If they do good, they do it unwillingly, and that's because they are the physical representation of the devil upon the earth, right? They want everything, and what they don't have, they eventually want to control it, and that's ultimately what's going on, man. You see, and these Israelites, these Negro, Latino, Native Americans who are homeless, right now they're just getting by, by the skins of their teeth, being into the, drug life or just totally, bugged out, but pretty soon they're going to find it very hard to exist in Esau's system, man, right? If they're not going along with it, right? Now, a lot of these homeless people are destroyed, right? They've already taken the snake bites, and they're definitely going to more likely take the MOTB when it comes up, because it's going to come with a free sandwich, a free, UBI, Universal Basic Income. It's going to come with a lot of benefits, right? And that's ultimately what Esau has set up for these poor souls, man, right? And this is, and the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because the homeless people are always in society the canary in the coal mine, right? There's an old adage called the canary in the coal mine, because back in the day, coal miners would take little canary birds in cages into the mines with them, right? Because the lungs of these birds were so delicate that if there was any poisonous gases, these birds would die. And hence the coal miners would see it, and they would end up, running out and saving their life, right? So basically, if it happened to these canary birds first, it would eventually happen to the miners, right? Well, these homeless people are society's canary in the mines. So all the draconian laws that we're seeing coming down upon them will eventually come down on society in one way or another, right? You see right now, a lot of the people in society are also hanging on to having a place to live, right? With rents and mortgages going up, people losing their jobs. There's going to be a lot of people who are floating from place to place. Also, a lot of people living in their cars now. The whole van life thing has exploded, right? Well, pretty soon, Esau is going to start coming after those people next, right? And then eventually it's going to come to some sort of, you're not staying at an approved, healthy location that has all the requirements needed by law and all this type of shit, right? You could see it right now happening with these snake bite mandates, right? There's little notifications being posted in apartments and condos saying that to renew your lease, you're going to have to show some sort of proof of a snake bite, right? So these are just some examples of how these devils are coming through, man, right? This is Proverbs 22 and 22. Rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. And that's exactly what these Edomites have done, man. They are oppressing these poor homeless people because they're poor and homeless. And you see, another reason too is because these people don't want the homeless people around their neighborhoods. They don't want them to basically be lowering the property values, man. You see, the corporations for the most part have run the society now, right? We're now living in a fascist state where the corporations and the government have come together to basically run society, right? And what does that mean? That means that legislation, laws, and ordinances, basically the way society is ran, is basically approved in one way or another by these corporations. So you see, these corporations, they don't want to find a solution for homelessness because it's going to cost them profits. So what do they do instead? They'll find a way to make it illegal to be homeless. In this way, the cost of housing these homeless people in prisons gets pushed onto the taxpayer, right? And then these corporations then make money by incarcerating these homeless people and hence get free labor. So, right? So everybody wins, unless you're a human. So this is just the way of this world because, again, it's run right now by these devils, these Edomites, right? It tells you in Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, right? And that's exactly what's going on, man. This world right now, it is in dire need of new management, right? And this is why us Israelites are out here prophesying the Bible, breaking down current events with what the Bible says would be happening in these end days, showing you people that what is happening is actual biblical events, right? That this is all part of the grand plan that the Lord has set up, right? And unfortunately, there really isn't much carnally that we can do, right? The solution in this case is to ultimately remove yourself spiritually from this system, this beast American, way of living system that these devils have set up, right? Because to be part of it means you're participating in it, right? You see, if you're an Israelite, you're living within America, but the thing is you're not supposed to be living in the system, right? Like Paul says, be a user of the world, but not an abuser thereof, right? We're not supposed to be here trying to live our best life, trying to be an all-American pro. No, man, because you see, the thing is we have our hopes in the next kingdom to come, which is our kingdom. Well, either way, this is just the way of the world, because this is the punishment that us Negro, Latino, Native Americans are going through for going off and worshiping other gods, right? This is the price we have to pay for breaking the covenant we made with the Lord. But the good news is that the Lord is now removing these curses from us, and our captivity is at an end, right? And we are soon to be placed back into rulership, which will be a forever rulership, and we're going to reign over our enemies in a state of peace, and the whole world will be in a heaven-like state once we are in rulership, along with the Messiah, right? Upon his second coming upon the world, which we are very close to, right? If you understand the Bible, you understand that these are just the things that have to come before the second coming of Messiah, right? So with all that said, let me leave you with this last scripture to just show you, man, that this is just the current way of the world, the way of wickedness that's prevailing across the earth right now, because these devils are in rulership. This is Ecclesiasticus 13:19. As the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. So that isn't just talking about, physically, like what's happening now, where the rich just continue to get richer and ultimately just live off the backs of the poor. But this is also talking about the wicked, right? Because the rich would be these Edomites, and the poor would be the Israelites, right? So we are basically constantly a prey, right? These heathen societies run off the backs of Israelites for the most part, right? When you look at the minutia of the system and the mechanism of societies throughout time, the Israelites, for the most part, have always had a hand in the great empires which came and went. And this last empire, which is the empire of the Edomite, which is the Roman Empire reborn, we are primarily responsible for its greatness, right? These devils run it, but we make it what it is. So hopefully this video is edifying. Until the next time, I want to give all praises to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshai, B'Asher Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.